Tappability creatures have been a staple of Magic the Gathering since Alpha, allowing creatures to generate repeatable value for every turn they're in play. As a result, tappability creatures have dominated in a variety of decks across multiple formats, and even to the highest levels of the Pro Tour.
Make a 2/2.
Copy of this one, and then block with the copy.
Get in the way.
He's still alive.
Welcome back to the Bulkhead. Today we'll be sharing our picks for the top 10 best tappability creatures in all of Magic. We'll be excluding mana creatures for this list, but stay tuned for our top 10 mana creatures video. Alright, let's jump right into it. Number 10. At our number 10 slot, we have Kamal Pit Fighter. Originally printed in Odyssey, this 6-mana barbarian legend taps to throw lightning bolts at any target. Stacks creatures, planeswalkers, your opponent's faces, you name it. Haste is a unique ability for a tappability creature to have innately, meaning that Kamal can get the value train rolling the turn he comes into play. Number 9. Coming in at number 9, we have Avatar of Woe, with an honorable mention for Visara the Dreadful. Avatar edges out Visara because it's very easy to enable the cost reduction effect on Avatar with effects that fill you or your opponent's graveyards. Playing this for 2 mana and then tapping it once or multiple times per turn will allow you to negate virtually any creature-based strategy. Being a 6/5 with Fear doesn't hurt either, allowing you to control the board and then attack past any remaining defenses to close out the game in a few hits. Number 8. Coming in at number 8 is Garth One-Eye. If you're looking for the most flexible tappability creature ever printed, Garth is surely in the conversation for the crown. Harkening back to some of the earliest and most iconic cards of all time, Garth does it all. Ramp, card advantage, disruption, recursion, and dragons? Blinking Garth will reset which spells you can cast, allowing the value train to continue to roll on and on. If you're playing Garth, make sure you can pay that Wooburg cost, and you won't be disappointed by the level of truly heinous value you'll be able to generate. Speaking of heinous value, check out our deck tech for Garth and EDH, linked below. Number 7. Number 7 is Arcanus the Omnipotent. He taps to cast Ancestral Recall. What else is there to say? Arcanus is a must-kill threat for your opponents. 1 or 2 activations and the game is likely going to be out of reach for them. Arcanus' second ability even gives you protection against removal, should you be able to cast him with extra mana or make it back to untap. Number 6. At the number 6 slot is Urtai the Corrupted. This legendary wizard may have been corrupted by the Phyrexians, but he still packs an incredible punch. Despite having to pay mana, tap, and sacrifice a creature or enchantment to use his ability, Urtai still pulls his weight. Untap with this thing, or give it haste, and you're likely to have a stranglehold on the game. Many a game of EDH has this sat innocuously across the table alongside a Seedborn Muse style effect and a few mana dorks. It's only when you try to do anything that you realize that neither you or your opponents have any way to meaningfully interact. Provided you've got some food for the wizard and plenty of blue mana, it's incredibly tough for anyone to assail your position with this in play. Number 5. Coming in at number 5, we have Goblin Welder. A multi-format all-star, Goblin Welder comes down early and does exactly as advertised with no pesky sorcery speed, once per turn, or exile clauses. This card has aged incredibly well, with cards like Platinum Angel or even the recent Portal to Phyrexia adding more flexibility and value to this Gobbo's resume, and allowing for some truly busted starts. Besides being a mana cheat, this card allows for repeated ETB and dies triggers from the same 2 cards, so you can reuse cards like Wormcoil Engine and Ichor Wellspring to generate massive card advantage and build an army all at the same time. You can even disrupt opponents by swapping artifacts from their field and graveyard when it's inconvenient for them. Don't underestimate Goblin Welder, or you'll be sorry. Number 4. Coming in at number 4, we have Captain Sissy, the swashbuckling captain of the Weatherlight. She might not look that impressive to start, but Sissy, like Goblin Welder before her, has benefited from an incredible explosion in the number of cards printed since her initial release. If you build your deck correctly, tapping Sissy is like casting Demonic Tutor every turn. Sissy can fetch an astounding number of effects, from ramp to removal to counterspells to wraths, and the list just goes on and on. She may be a 4-mana 2/2, but the power level of drawing the exact card you need every turn can't be overstated. Number 3. At the number 3 spot, we have Marika Barrett, the mysterious temptress from Ice Age. Repeatedly tapping to cast control magic is unsurprisingly an incredibly busted ability. While most other effects along the same lines give the creature back on untap, think Vidalcan Shackles or Old Man of the Sea, Marika destroys the creature she stole. With untap effects, this card becomes the scourge of any battlefield, stealing key creatures like commanders, or repeatedly stealing, untapping, destroying, and stealing again. If this card stays in play for multiple turns, good luck trying to do anything with creatures. Her Siren Song is just too tempting. Number 2. At the 2 slot, we have one of the most powerful combo pieces of all time, Kikiki Mirror Breaker. Kiki is known for comboing with cards like Pestermite or Restoration Angel to create an infinitely large army of hasty attackers. His Aura sibling, Splinter Twin, was even banned in Modern for being too powerful and consistent of a win condition. The recently printed Fable of the Mirror Breaker highlights how busted Kiki himself is, as Fable's backside is still incredibly powerful even without haste and costing a generic mana to activate. Beyond infinites, Kiki does work in a variety of spaces as a value play, allowing you to reuse ETBs and smash faces for extra damage by making copies of your fatties. Number 1. Taking home the gold medal for best tap ability creature of all time, we have Mother of Runes. Affectionately nicknamed Mom, this innocuous little 1/1 cleric literally does it all. Wizards has been shy about printing literal protection effects in recent years because of how unbelievably busted protection is. If you're unfamiliar with how protection from a color works, just remember the acronym DET. D stands for damage, E stands for enchantments and equipment, B stands for block, and T stands for target. All of that adds up to a major headache for your opponents. With Mom in play, all of your creatures are safe from almost every type of removal spell, including Burn that deals damage but doesn't target. Your creatures are also basically guaranteed to survive combat, either clashing with their blockers without fear of damage, or literally just attacking past a huge force without the possibility of blocks. Mom can even target herself with her ability, meaning you don't have to worry about your opponents casting Swords to Plowshares on her. Mother of Runes is absolutely the queen. And that's our list of the 10 most powerful tap ability creatures in all of Magic. What does your list look like? What cards did we miss? Comment below and let us know what card deserves a spot. Thanks again for joining us on the Bulkhead, and we'll see you next time.